Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Great to have you with us on this Monday morning, hoping all is well with you. Thanks so much for your support over this weekend. I, let that personal announcement out there go, saying that my wife was starting to experience the very early signs of labor and that I might not be here on Monday. I've gotten a lot of messages from you all saying congratulations and thank you so much for those. Currently, we are still awaiting that trip to the hospital, but it seems like we're heading in that direction here, slowly but surely, and that's pretty normal, typical, and everything looks good, so I'm happy, I feel lucky, my wife's doing well, and obviously when it's time for us to head on out there to the hospital, I will let you know as soon as I can, but I won't rush it as, of course, priority family, but then Everything Kratom listeners, of course, is number 2. So I'll let you all know when we get to that point, but for now, here I am. So thanks so much. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about just that. Over this weekend, I wasn't planning to use Kratom, and I don't typically use Kratom that much on the weekends, although, sometimes I do, or somewhat often I do, I guess would be fair to say. But it's not really my goal, and I'm not thinking about it that often on the weekends. This weekend, it came up a lot in my mind, and the reason why was because I was kind of, in this weird state of fight or flight, like I might wake up in the middle of the night to my wife saying, oh, it's time, or, oh, the pain's getting bad, or I need you to do this or that, or, there are lots of kind of unknowns when it comes to your significant other giving birth, and so, you're kind of like in this weird suspended state of what if, or what then, or when, and it's hard to be in that state for a long time for me, because after a little while, it's like, well, I need to do something right now, or I need to do nothing, or I need to sleep. And Kratom would be very helpful for me in a number of ways in those circumstances, but then at the same time, I'm also thinking to myself, I don't want to use anything to sleep, which I don't really ever. I don't really have trouble with that, but I don't want to be like too knocked out or anything, or in too deep a sleep, because I need to be able to get up and go. I also don't want to take like Kratom that makes me too energized and motivated and ready to do things, because that's not the sort of energy that is needed with, like when my wife is just starting to experience, signs of labor, the environment really matters. And this is all stuff that I'm learning on the go, So I kind of just like made the point of making sure that I didn't take Kratom, and it wasn't anything really about Kratom in and of itself. It was more like, let's just let things roll. And, I'm not going to be perfect, but maybe that's better than me being awake when I don't need to be, or me being asleep when I shouldn't be, or me feeling, like I'm more prepared, but in reality, maybe I am, but it wasn't really worth it. I don't know. So I kind of took Kratom out of the equation this weekend, and I think that was a good thing. That being said, now it's starting to get into the week again, and it's back to work, and so it's like at the same time, the sorts of things that I use Kratom for the most, especially when it comes to work, is, it's still there and it would still be helpful to me. So I'm kind of balancing this at the moment and trying to figure out what to do. And I thought I'd share all that with you all today, because I think a lot of the time people think about Kratom in a lot of different life circumstances, and there's not really much, live or ongoing talk about those circumstances. And so here you go. Here's one very specific circumstance where someone's struggling with figuring out how to and when to use Kratom and when not to, with something that's very important. There's nothing more important than this, right? So my first priority is just be there. I won't be perfect, but I'll be there as best as I can be. And then, Kratom, if it seems like it's a time or a place where I should use it, that's great, but I'm not going to be thinking about it or using it when it comes to anything that has to do with the birth of my second child. It was never an option from the beginning. However, it was an interesting thought when it first popped up, because when I'm in the circumstance where I could really use an energy boost, or like, I need to relax in this situation, Kratom is naturally one of the things I'll think about. But when I thought about it, I realized, nope, I don't really want to go down that road whatsoever. Nothing against Kratom, more just, I just don't want to. So let's not make it a factor. And that's kind of the thing I was going to share today. Don't really have much of a fine point on that other than that's what's going on. So I'll keep you all updated, and, I'll plan on doing episodes until something significant happens, which should be pretty soon. But until then, thanks so much for listening and for your support. You all are amazing. Thanks so much. All right. I will talk to you when I talk to you.